Right now on KGW News at 11, a climber takes a fatal fall.
Anybody who had a chance to know Rocky was a better human, for sure.
The collapse on Mount St. Helens that claimed the life of a man friends say had a heart of gold. Also tonight,
I was ecstatic and I was shaking. I couldn't believe it at first.
as Portland police catch up with a suspected serial burglar. But first,
I'm just glad I wasn't here to witness it.
with one person shot dead outside a strip club and a second victim left injured. Thanks so much for joining us at 11. I'm David Molko. That deadly shooting was in southeast Portland, not far from Mall 205, in the middle of the evening rush. Catherine Cook is back from that scene tonight and joins us now with the details. Catherine?
David, the shooting happened outside the Venue Gentlemen's Club. At last check, Portland police haven't made any arrests in this case, which leaves a lot of people feeling very anxious. Shock and shell casings mark the scene of a southeast Portland homicide investigation. Around 5:30 Monday night, police responded to the Venue Gentlemen's Club on Southeast 99th and Stark. There in the parking lot, they found one person dead and another with life-threatening injuries. Medics rushed the surviving victim to the hospital.
I'm just glad I wasn't here to witness it, but this is pretty shocking.
Gemini, that's her stage name, is a dancer here at the venue. She feels heartbroken and so many other emotions.
A little scared. The security guards are really nice there and stuff, but I'm terrified, honestly, a little scared about going back.
I drove by and I'm like, okay, there's another big incident.
Jeffrey Eastman doesn't live far from here, and he's worried. His perception of crime is backed up by police stats. That data, as tracked by KGW, show this is the 22nd homicide of the year in Portland. That's slightly up from this time last year.
It's hard to see this much stuff happening in this city. You know, it's not the city that I once knew when I was a kid, that's for sure.
As homicide detectives piece together evidence, others, like Gemini, wait for answers and justice.
Catch the suspect, put him away. That would be lovely.
At this point, police haven't released the names of the victims. They are asking for the public's help. Anyone who hasn't already spoken with investigators is asked to call Portland police. David, back to you.
Catherine Cook reporting tonight. Thank you, Catherine. New at 11, Portland police responded near Pioneer Courthouse Square shortly before 6 this evening after a report of a stabbing. Some streets around Southwest Park and Yamhill, that's the backside of Nordstrom near Director Park, were roped off with crime tape. It is not clear if anyone was seriously hurt or if anyone was arrested. We've asked police to provide more detail here, but haven't yet heard back. We have new details tonight about the man accused of murdering another Max passenger during the Friday evening rush. Court documents indicate the suspect told police he had been hearing voices and feared the victim was going to kill him. This afternoon, 51-year-old Shondell Larkin pleaded not guilty. Police call Friday evening's attack unprovoked. They arrested Larkin at the 82nd Avenue station, covered in blood, they say, and holding a butcher's knife. Court records indicate he stabbed the victim multiple times in the shoulder, chest, and stomach. Last fall, TriMet announced a plan to step up security. Here is what some transit riders told us today.
Usually I feel pretty safe because they have those guys with the yellow jackets on, and that helps out a lot.
It's super unfortunate that, the Max is not a safe place.
Still gonna ride the Max. Still gotta get around.
Security on Max isn't really the problem. I didn't know about the stabbing, but things like that do happen, particularly in metropolitan areas.
Larkin will remain behind bars. Police have not yet publicly identified the victim. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines, Multnomah County Sheriff's deputies have arrested a man they say led them on a bit of a foot chase this morning in Wood Village. This all started around 10:30 on Northeast Arata Road when deputies responded to a call of a man trying to steal someone's car. Investigators say 54-year-old David Knight ran through multiple yards and at least one home in an attempt to escape. They caught up with him a couple hours later when a resident spotted something suspicious on their home security cam. Knight faces charges that include burglary and trespass. In Battleground, a pickup truck crashed into the side of an auto parts store this afternoon. Police say the driver suffered minor injuries and alcohol or drugs were not involved. The truck apparently hit a load-bearing wall. The store is closed until an engineer can assess the damage. And Oregon Governor Tina Kotek has signed a bill that effectively recriminalizes drug possession under that portion of the law, which goes into effect in September. Those convicted of the new misdemeanor will get up to 18 months probation, though if they violate the terms, could go to jail. The law also gives counties the option to set up deflection programs, meaning law enforcement could send drug users into treatment rather than into the court system. The bill was paired with another in the Senate that provides new funding for behavioral health and treatment programs. New tonight, we're learning more about a mountaineer who died while climbing Mount St. Helens over the weekend and hearing from a close friend about the legacy he left behind. Alma McCarty is in the newsroom. Alma, just a devastating accident here. What happened?
Well, David, Roscoe Shorey, better known to friends as Rocky, was an exceptionally experienced climber who successfully summited Mount Hood 44 times and Mount St. Helens 28 times. On Friday, he went out for a solo climb there, but authorities say it appears he fell after a cornice on the rim of the crater gave way.
Yeah, it's an extremely difficult time. Rocky was more my little brother than my friend.
And Brett Barnum says his friend, Rocky Shorey, had an unparalleled zest for life.
And in 42 years, that guy lived 100 years worth of life, easily. I was fortunate enough to be able to hop in the car and take a ride with him. Every time that we would go out, it was an adventure.
Adventures and passions he loved to share with others.
The community as a whole in the metro area has lost a very, very caring individual who was not reckless or careless and happened to fall upon some very bad luck.
On Friday, Brett says Rocky was in his element, going for a solo summit of Mount St. Helens with plans to snowboard back down. When he didn't hear from Rocky Saturday, he began to worry.
And I started reaching out to a handful of the mountain community and asked if anybody was out climbing.
He would soon learn a group of climbers found a backpack, cameras, and other gear at the top of the mountain, near the rim of the crater. Sheriff's deputies in Skamania County reported a snow cornice fractured, falling into the crater below. 1,200 feet down, rescuers recovered Rocky Shorey's body.
You've got this kind of ledge, this overhanging block of snow along ridge lines.
Dennis D'Amico, forecast director for the Northwest Avalanche Center, explains cornices can break further back than many people, even experienced climbers, might expect.
So you might think, I've got, a couple of feet here to the edge, I'm being totally safe, and not realizing that you're actually standing a few feet over from where the ridge actually starts.
And while Brett says he and so many others will miss Rocky, he takes solace in knowing his dear friend was doing what he loved.
A testament to his life is he just lived it. He lived it his way. He didn't live it dangerously. He lived it with prediction, with passion, with intention.
And among his many roles, including skydiving instructor, Rocky Shorey was also a volunteer who helped Portlanders from historically marginalized communities connect to nature. And he was a brand ambassador for an Oregon-based freeze-dried food company. The teams at both tell me they are just devastated and shocked by the sudden loss. David?
Thank you, Alma. Appreciate your reporting here tonight. We are following up this evening on the search for a missing Vancouver woman. 61-year-old Christina Ace was last seen a week ago tomorrow. Police say there is no current person of interest in this case. They'll call her disappearance suspicious. Ace works as the nursing director at the Roseland Care Center. Her coworkers at the assisted living community in Westland say they found her car near her home, but note there weren't any issues or concerning signs.
We care about each other as a family. We do the work that we do for other families as a family. And missing her isn't just missing a coworker, it's missing one of our family members.
Vancouver, Portland, and Westland police are all working on this investigation. Straight ahead on